Hey guys, Justice Egan here, and I'm cutting a video today here for the first time in quite some time. I've been away from you for a little while. I enjoyed a good event last weekend at Live the Dream, and I've been kind of just sitting back and doing some reflection. If you've read the article above this video on my blog, if you found this on YouTube, be sure to go over to my blog. I've kind of been telling everybody I'm in maintenance mode, just kind of keeping things moving and enjoying the luxury of residual income. But as I sat down and worked out a plan coming out of this latest event where I had the wonderful experience of speaking from stage and really sharing some incredible value with the audience. It was really well received. It was a great event. But nonetheless, I came home looking to put my head down and get moving, and I realized something. I sat back and I realized that I wasn't really in maintenance mode this whole time. You haven't heard a great deal from me. You've probably been invited to some webinars, but I realized something. I realized that I was kind of stuck. And that's a tough thing for me to say because that's me being very transparent. I mean, I've sat here and coached and trained on how to get unstuck, on how to break through in your business. I've done a lot of breakthrough trainings because I've been very proud of what I've been able to accomplish. From a place of being an unproductive person, from a place of being what I would call a lazy person, a super underachiever. And this is the first time I've felt like, hey, the stuff that I've done in the past, really wasn't helping me get moving, right? The stuff that I teach wasn't helping me get, get to that next level. And, I reflected on it for a couple of days and I called Ray Higdon, a good friend and mentor of mine, and had a couple conversations with him, and again, sat and spent some time really thinking about this, and based on that and his conversations and some personal development I've been doing, I realized something. I've never been much for accepting excuses from other people. I certainly don't accept them from myself. So in the last period of time, I've been going through it's been a difficult period of my life, but I would not allow that to be the reason. So, I think there's a little piece of me that's saying, hey, you're just maintaining, just kicking back, just relaxing, enjoying the fruits of your labor. So it wasn't like I was telling myself there was a reason. I actually didn't even realize that I was stuck until very recently. What I realized was through these conversations is that changing my life had, over time made changes to my vision and to my goals, okay? And things had kind of shifted. The way I was working my business, the direction I was taking my business in my life had changed, and through that everything just kind of got muddled. And I didn't really see it happening until now. And I'm cutting this video today to talk to you about getting unstuck. And if you're like me, there's some things I love to do when I'm stuck. I mean, one is I go directly to my habits. Okay, I basic things, life habits. I mean, for me, it was always about changing life habits, and then the change in business habits would come. So I'd always make sure I was getting up earlier, consistently, working exercise and working personal development and changing my diet, things like that, for the sake of just living a better, feeling better about, the way my day is going, about the way I'm living. And that always was able to translate into better business habits, more productivity, more consistency, etc. Of course, I worked personal development in throughout. I've always worked it in. But there are, like all of us, there are days I skip it, and of late I've made sure that I don't. I've changed those habits in my life as well. But for some reason, I wasn't seeing kind of that domino effect. I wasn't seeing it come into my business, and what I realized was that it really did come down to my vision and my goals, okay? And the reason is, and I'm not going to go into the reason why those things changed, but the bottom line is sometimes, that stuff gets blurred. And I remember, how clear I was, on some of the things I wanted to accomplish, some of the bigger things I wanted to accomplish. I mean, I really want to speak in front of large audiences and affect people's lives, and help people see through my eyes, what's helped me change and transform my life. So actually coming to this realization is a big part of that, right? Because this is the first time I've ever felt, in a long time, like, hey, I'm not getting things moving here. What's the deal? And, part of it is that vision had been lost. Some of the things the bigger vision of what I wanted to do online for my team and from a standpoint of my marketing and where I wanted to take things and how I wanted to grow my audience, that had kind of gotten lost as well. And so it started there, and I just didn't realize it. It shifted so slowly. It shifted, in conjunction with other things in my life that I'd kind of gotten off path. And, sometimes you sit down and you go, hey, I know what to do, right? I know how to build the business. I know what I have to do. And the pieces aren't coming together. And, realizing that was missing, realizing that had been blurred, that had changed was a major, major step for me. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because I'm sure that a lot of you can relate. I mean, I could sit here and get on camera and tell you how perfect everything is all the time, but that's not reality. I'm here to be me. I'm here to share with you guys and help allow my experience, my struggles, my successes, everything, help some of you, pull things away that can help you have breakthroughs that you need. So, that's really the goal here today. The other thing that I realized is I had sat down, I always revisit my goals, but it had been a little while. And now, even the goals I had set, they weren't quite in line, because the vision that I had, the big picture vision, it wasn't, it wasn't a reality anymore, okay? It wasn't right for me anymore. So, the next thing that I've had to do, and I would encourage you to do if you've ever felt stuck, is to sit down and set goals, because those are the targets, and success as a whole, and that big vision, that's kind of a moving target, right? I mean, that's always going to grow. It's always going to evolve. So we've got to kind of have those checkpoints along the way. And that's where the breakdown had happened for me. So, I'm excited to cut this video because I've sat down over the last few days, really thought this stuff out, really set some new goals. I mean, obviously I'm here creating content for you today. I plan on creating a lot more content for you. Of course, I'm going to be away in Cabo for a few days, but you may still hear from me there. But, those things, you would think they're simple, and you would think that you always have your head wrapped around them. And interestingly, they made a little shift for me, and I didn't realize that it had happened. So, that was a huge realization for me. I hope sharing this with you here today is a big realization for some of you that are watching. If you feel like you're not getting where you want to get, those would be the 4 things I'd suggest. I'd suggest that A, you make personal development a top priority. Morning and night. I mean, make it the first thing you do during the day. That's what you feed your brain, guys, and it is so, so important. B, I'm a huge fan of stepping back and reflecting on your habits. I mean, one of the first things I do when I'm stuck, I get in here, I set a schedule, make sure I'm getting up the same time every day, make sure I'm putting good food in my body, make sure I'm in a clean house, and start to really make sure that the basic habits in my life are in line so that everything else can fall into place. Because that's never been a strong suit for me, so it takes effort. Some of you may be watching this and go, well, I do that already. Well, good, that's great, but a lot of people that struggle like I did, okay, those things are a challenge. So, personal habits are a major factor here. And if you don't struggle with those basics that I talked about, it might be more refined personal habits that you're looking to dig into and make better. Then, you've got to refine and really get a sense of that vision. Who is it that you want to touch? What is it that you're here for? I mean, what are you bringing to the world? That's big stuff, guys. That goes well beyond paying the bills. Okay, it goes well beyond, the material things, having a nicer home or car. Those are the things that are going to drive us once we're making huge money. Those are the things that are going to drive us in the face of huge life challenges because they're bigger than those things. That vision has to be huge. And, that's something, like I said, that I lost track with it, and I'm excited to sit down and really reevaluate what I want to accomplish, and how I want to impact the world. And then you've got to get down to those goals, because those are the checkpoints, and without those targets, you're just, if you don't know what you're aiming for, you're really not going to hit anything. You can just kind of land wherever. So, I would really, really encourage anybody who's watching this, anybody who is feeling stuck like I just felt for the first time in a long time. I really was so surprised. It's great to have different people to lean on, different resources, to kind of have someone put a second set of eyes on things for you. It can be very, very helpful. So, I hope you found this helpful today. If you have, make sure to leave a comment below, like this video, share it, etc. Make sure you let me know what you want to hear in videos in the days, weeks, and months to come. Maybe I'll even shoot you a video from Cabo, heading out in just a couple of short days. So I'll be talking to you very soon. Have a great day.